Hi everyone, welcome back to Poetology. Today I want to talk about some nice things that happened to me over the summer. And the main one is that a collage I made was exhibited at the Beaney Museum in Canterbury, alongside with an exhibition on Claude Cahun, who was a French surrealist photographer from the first part of the 20th century. Claude Cahun worked a lot with self-portraits and represented a multitude of personalities through her portraits, and many of them had to do with gender play as well, with her looking much more masculine on some portraits than others. And for that reason, this exhibition wanted to exhibit a number of LGBTQ artists in the same room as the Claude Cahun exhibition, and I applied and my collage was chosen to be one of the exhibited ones, which was really nice because I have never had a collage exhibited before. So this was a first for me, and as someone who is primarily a poet, it was also really good to see that a visual collage could be exhibited in a museum, which is a very different scene from having publications in poetry magazines, even when they're visual. I had never quite realized that I could be exhibited as a collage poet in ways that I can't be exhibited as a more like page poet in the classical sense. I thought it would be fun to take you along with me in that place, so this here is the Beaney Museum in Canterbury. It's a pretty impressive 19th century building on the main street of Canterbury. The exhibition itself was on the second floor in the special exhibitions room. It took place from Saturday 6th May to Sunday 23rd of July, and typically several thousand people visit an exhibition like this. I think many schools go there, and many tourists also stop at the museum on their visit of Canterbury. On the left-hand side here, you can see all the artists who were selected to be part of this exhibition, and on the right-hand side are Claude Cahun's self-portraits in black and white. And yeah, you can see this collage, which is quite familiar from another video. I will link that video. I've featured this collage before, so you can see me making it. This is a collage I made using sacred geometry as my inspiration. I made it camp, and I also created a sort of ritual within the collage with different objects standing in the four quarters and semi-quarters. I had to write about the creation and what I did with it, so that was exhibited next to it on a little plaque. And I picked it up from the museum afterwards with the little plaque, so now I've got something nice to put up on my wall at home. Friends went to see it, so it was really nice to have that kind of feedback from people, and just to know that your work is not something you keep in your own room or your own house all the time, but that it can actually reach different people. That was a really good experience for me. Another small but exciting thing that happened was that I was also featured with another collage in the zine made by Declan Whiffen, whose interview you can watch here. The zine was titled Fuck Plants, and I came across it at the Broadway bookshop in London. Totally unexpectedly, I was looking at their poetry collections, and here was the zine next to Mary Jean Chan's Bright Fear, which I purchased at that bookshop. You can see here on the left page is the little collage I made, so that was another nice surprise. Both of these events were relatively small things, but they really made me think how much I've needed to put my work out there, and sometimes it's a bit scary to send work out, because on the one hand, I think it is important to be engaged in creative work for its own sake, just because self-expression is important, because imagination is important, and creativity really matters. But on the other hand, I think we all do this as an attempt to communicate, or at least for myself. When I write in my journal, it's private, but everything else I do, I have some kind of hope that I can share something about my way of dealing with my own experience, or one way of seeing the world in a particular way, or some emotions that I'm feeling. And I believe that to feel fully accomplished, it can be very important to share your work and to have it be visible in one way or other. And so I would really encourage everyone to take part in these opportunities when they arise and to send out your work. What you don't necessarily see here is how often I get rejected, how often I send my work places and receive a negative response, because that happens all the time, and it can be pretty crushing, especially when it happens again and again and again and again. And so these two opportunities stand out because they happened. And I think it's also easy to just reach for, the best literary journals and the dream publications, places where you really want to have your work out, and forget that there are also worthy opportunities that are easier to accomplish, easier to get to, and that using those can actually bring you a lot. Anyway, that was my little speech. Thank you for watching this video. It was nice to share that work with you too, and to show you some of the positive things that have happened to my collage work recently. Let me know if you have taken part in opportunities yourself, or if you like to send your work out, and what difference it makes when a work is actually exhibited or published compared to just writing it and maybe showing it to one friend here and there. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!